What we're doing.
Yeah,
I'm Greg Peterson, and this is Randy Anderson.
well,
And
Hi, Joe.
we're part of doing a project on State Line Speedway, the first 10 years of State Line,
well,
which guys like Joe Mobilia show up, and a
Yeah.
guy like Tom Dill show up. And we've been having fun interviewing
well,
a variety of people who were part of that world, including Squirt Johns and Bobby Schnars and Tom Dill. Did I say Tom Dill?
Yeah.
Tom Dill.
Everybody mentions Tom.
And everybody mentions Tom Dill. Sammy Lamacuso. And we're going to hopefully talk a little bit about those guys, the beginning of the races, and perhaps your involvement with it, Joe. And I also should point out that I went to Allegheny College back in 1969, 70, 71, and there was a student there named Ruth Mobilia. Do you recognize that name?
Ruth,
Yeah,
that's my daughter.
I know it. I went to school with your daughter. This is how small a world this is.
Yeah,
And I don't think I've even talked to your daughter, let alone see your daughter, since we graduated from college many, many years ago.
yeah.
So here we are, who'd have guessed? That in Erie, in 2010, we'd be talking about somebody I went to school with at Allegheny College, Ruth Mobilia. So here we are today, that's a little bit of background. And we've had the pleasure of talking to some of the track owners, going back to Jerry and Don Frank, to Marv Thorpe, and of course some of the early racers, Bobby and Squirt. And so we just want to talk to all of you, and chime in wherever you can, but clearly the name Joe Mobilia keeps coming up over and over and over again.
I used to be the troublemaker.
Troublemaker. Why was that, Joe?
Somebody had to be.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do it, huh, Joe?
Well,
Is Mobilia racing, was that something that was in your parents' background? Were you?
no.
So you were a first generation racer.
Well, we started right when they first started it.
What year did they start?
1956 is when they started at State
Yeah.
Line.
With the troops.
Joe ran cars at Sportsman Field.
Right here.
Yeah.
So you actually raced before. Where did you start your racing, Joe?
Well, bus tie.
What about Sportsman Field, Joe?
We had so. Even better with black and dirt.
Elizabeth, please cancel again. Elizabeth, please cancel.
Sportsman Field, huh?
Where was Sportsman's Field?
Who?
Sportsman's Field, where you drove, where was that?
Oh, that was up in
On Pittsburgh Avenue.
Pittsburgh Avenue?
Yeah, about 25th Street. 25th.
Well,
What about the stadium days, Tom? What year was that? That was later?
that was early.
Yeah. That was 58.
That was 58, because I know I was a little kid then.
You're still a little kid.
Joe, when you raced at Sportsman Field, did you race against Lloyd Moore,
Yeah, that's all them guys.
Bill Rexford?
Billy Rexford, yeah.
It was they had used car dealers races.
Used car dealer races.
Oh, yeah. Joe was involved in that, so.
Did you have your interest in the cars, was that because, did you have a garage, Joe, or did you have a used car lot, or?
Oh, I had a used car lot.
Right.
It was, that's it, the numbers, you put them together and run, that's all.
In them days, you could build a car for $1,500, $2,000, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Something like that, a competitive car, actually, for a reasonable amount of money. So,
I'm curious, how did you connect with a guy like Tom Dill? What's the connection here?
We drove a car.
Yeah? Was he any good?
Well. We wouldn't have probably got the,
That's funny, you took me all over the country racing, Joe.
yeah.
Didn't get better till you trained him, did he, Joe?
Well, we're gonna show you some stuff here. Let's do this first, just to see some of the people who were part of your world, Joe. Randy Anderson is a historian. He knows everything about everybody. And he has you driving cars up at State Line in 1960 through 1963.
No.
So if you've seen these guys and you have any stories,
Johnny Ditch, Chuck Piazza, Joe,
Well,
Freddie Knapp. Who's that on the end? Johnny Whitehead, okay, yeah. This one here is Larry Parmenter. Remember some of them guys?
yeah,
I thought you might. You never got in a fight with any of them, did you?
no. They got a fight with me.
Hey, Jim, turn it over, there's more on
There's more in the back here, Joe. Let's flip it over and see what we else. What else do we have here? Here you go. Another Johnny Whitehead, Floyd Thomas,
Floyd?
Squirt Johns. You might know this guy. Who's this guy?
Squirt guy.
Yeah, Squirt Johns is right here.
That ain't the one squirt.
Who's this guy?
Never saw him.
He's up on a wanted poster, maybe.
No,
Tom Dill, Jim Scott,
no,
Sammy Lemon Crusoe, Floyd Finelli,
no.
and Ronnie Blackmer. That's a few characters, huh? Where'd you get that little photo album? That's your own, huh? That's good.
that brings back lots of memories, I bet.
Yeah.
When you started racing up at State Line, what did you know about guys like Leonard Briggs? What's Leonard Briggs mean to Joe
He
Mobilia?
owned it.
Yeah. How was his relationship with you?
We got a lot of fights.
What about Lloyd Williams?
Lloyd did, I don't, Lloyd Briggs, but, you know,
Lloyd Williams.
Lloyd Williams, yeah, he was the announcer.
He's the announcer.
wow.
The Franks, did you have much to do with Don or Jerry Frank?
We fought with him.
What'd you fight over?
Stupid things.
I know they were in charge of the tracks and the
Track.
placement of the cars during the various races. Was that something you guys fought over as positioning, whether you're in the first row, the second row?
Well, that was Jerry put us in the back row.
Why is that?
Because we were the best ones out there.
There you go. So they put you in the back row.
Yep.
More often than not.
Who were some of the drivers that you prepared the cars for?
Oh,
I mean, Tom Dill we know about.
yeah.
Dick Litz,
Dick Litt, you know,
Kenny C,
Kenny C, a lot of,
few people. You remember him?
Who's that?
Kenny C,
We've talked to Kenny.
How about Dick Brunel?
Dick Barnell.
We're going to show you a picture of a car in 1961, and I think it's you driving, Joe. I don't know, but check it out.
we was on the road.
We think that's Joe.
51 Junior, Joe.
Huh?
51 Junior.
Were you driving that car, Joe?
No, Dill's on it, Bill.
It's a Ford, isn't it? Joe?
I can't get the, people got their legs in on it.
This one right here, 51 Junior.
That was a Chevrolet, Joe.
Is that a Chevy?
Yeah.
What's that look like, Tom?
You didn't drive that car, did you, Tom?
No,
No, it drove
that's
itself.
that 59 Ford that you bought from Julian.
Oh,
That
it,
Jimmy Dunn drove some.
yeah.
Did Joe ever drive it?
No. no,
You never raced it?
No, he run the Chevy some.
Okay. But Jimmy Dunn drove that car?
Some, yeah.
We do it once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I raced it for Julian some and then Joe bought it later.
What?
I raced it for Julian
Yeah.
in Midwest or Markham.
Martinsville?
I raced it at Canfield and Cleveland and,
Few places.
What cars did you race, Joe? Do you remember when you were at State Line and it looks like 1961 through?
I didn't drive all the time, I drove once in a while.
Would you go to the track and if the driver wasn't there, you'd jump in?
There wasn't a racetrack that we didn't go to.
he had more cars than he had drivers.
You know?
Did you, since you had so many cars, did you make any money at this, Joe? Was this for,
Made a living out of it.
really?
It wasn't like it is today. You win, they used to give you $100, that went a long way.
Right, right. Who were when you were driving and during that early 60s time period, who were the top drivers? Who were the guys that you really wanted to try to beat?
Oh, I was trying to beat Tom. And Dick Letts and Floyd Pinelli.
When did Bobby Snar start? What year did he start?
I don't know if he
Seven?
started. Yeah, he was in there.
He was always, I always remember him, I mean.
Do you remember anything about Squirt Johns?
Squirt?
Squirt Johns. Do you remember much about Squirt?
Stuart Johnson.
Yeah. 5'11".
5'11", that's,
Orange car?
yeah, that was Squid John.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm sure he remembers you, Joe.
Yeah,
Now, people have said that when you were in the racetrack and in the either driving or in the pits, that occasionally you would have a short temper. I can't believe that.
no, it was short.
Briggs would probably remember that firsthand,
Yeah.
the track owner.
Tom, did you ever see that when he was working with you? Was there ever a short fuse on when he?
Well, they're gonna, would you park a trailer across the racetrack at Erie? Joe,
Huh?
did you park a trailer across the racetrack at Erie? They were gonna move it with a grader.
Yeah,
Why'd you do that, Joe?
well, we always got into trouble, that's all. We wanted to make the party live.
Bring a little excitement to the races, that's all.
Well, Leonard Briggs is not alive, Joe, but
He died, did he?
yeah, but Jerry Frank is alive,
Yeah, I
and he remembers you.
Yeah, you have to, we had enough fights.
Well, he said that you and him had some disagreements.
Well, that was not hard to believe. Yeah.
What were the disagreements over mainly, Joe?
Well, what the positions he started.
My gosh, I gotta.
Back then, when they run, they tried to tell him a last because he was driving for me.
So you think Tom would have started closer to the front if he was driving somebody else's car?
It was doing like he drove by me, it would.
So you drove for a few years, Joe, but and then
I didn't play around with them.
yeah.
I'd go drive, and then one time I was driving my Ford. And it wasn't handling right along with the Tom said, just drive that thing around the track, see what's wrong with it. He drove it over his first turn.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't handling right. And he was right.
No.
Wasn't handling well at all.
Oh, gosh.
Joe, did you ever get mad at Tom?
Lots of times.
Did you ever fire him? Did you ever fire him? Tell him, get the hell out of your garage?
You know, I was about to quit racing, you're done now.
Did you, Tom, did you spend time at the garage working on the cars prior to the races, or was that something Joe basically?
Just 24 hours a day.
Really? So you were intimately involved in the car preparation?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Joe, at times, how many cars would you bring to the races?
I had a high as 3 or 4.
Wow, is that right?
You always had at least two.
Oh, we had
You know.
two or 3 classes.
Right.
One was, they call them midgets, or,
Sportsman.
Sportsmen's, midgets.
well, one of the ones that remind me that, Ford Coupe.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of them around. Yeah.
Well, we probably have some pictures of some of the cars here.
Well,
John, you want to show them a few and just?
I have a few here, Joe. You remember this one? We're gonna move these over here for the moment.
Well, we don't want to look at those young.
See this picture?
Well,
That's a yellow B&H. I think that car, who made that car, Tom? That B&H car?
I think B8 started it.
I think Gothier had something.
What?
Gothier.
Gothier had something to do with that, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is the same picture here, Joe, but
No.
here's Floyd Finelli's car.
No.
You remember this one, Bobby Snars?
Snars,
This is
yeah.
from 1972.
Mm-hmm.
Year I went in the Army, so I was kind of out of the picture there at the end of that season. I lucked out. Remember that car, Joe? Those two Monte Carlos, that was the year that the Monte Carlos dominated the track so much they wanted to ban them. Two cars that my dad built. We built one, and we built one for Dick Litz, then we built the second one, and Tom drove it. And Monte Carlos handled so well that State Line Eries were talking about banning them
No kidding. Wow.
because they were winning too many races and they couldn't be caught. Well, the motor was naturally set back in them,
Right.
so that gave them a little handling advantage. And then my dad made a trick motor mount, which set the weight back a little further, which gave it even more handling, huh, Tom? When he raced his, it was underpowered, had a 396 in it, and he would run right into people in the corner, right up to the side of them, and then they'd kind of pull away from him on the corner, on the straightaway, but he'd go right around them in the corners, because the car handled so nice. And Dick Litz won the State Line, or he won the Conneaut Championship that year in the other Monte Carlo, and he won quite a few races between Erie's and Busti circuit also, with first year they come out, so. We put together two of them, and Joe had the second one. We were a little bit late. It didn't make it at the beginning of the season, but it was there after about 2 or 3 races into the season.
Right.
But it's still, the first night out, here's a guy you probably remember his name, George Gauthier. We took it out to Erie's, and this guy was so sharp on setting up front ends that he used a 4-foot level and a plumb bob to align the front end and a tape measure for the toe end.
Wow.
And it finished, I think it finished third that night, didn't it, Tom, in that car or something like that? Third or fifth or something, right up there in the feature. With just, all we had was primer on it and a number. But just to give you an idea how good that guy was at aligning the front
There's
ends.
material.
Yep. Here's a trailer, here's an old car, Dickie Litz's there. That's, looks like up at his house, probably. And here's that Mercury Comet? No, it wasn't a Comet, it was a Mercury, it was like a Fairlane. What was a Mercury, Tom?
I don't know what they call
Liberty
it.
Iron,
Liberty Iron.
number 11.
Well,
Raced that for a while. That was a different car. That wasn't one of your cars. This is the last year that Tom drove. It was a car that we built. It was a Chevelle, 76 Chevelle. And he almost won the 150 lapper that in 77, but he finished second to Dave Turner by about a car length maybe, huh Tom, wasn't it? And there was a wire dangling, and it was the only large car in the track. Everything else was a Camaro on that particular race. And, well, he had a few minor incidents out there during that race where people were banging on him, but somehow he got the better of them. I don't know. That usually happened.
Tom banging on somebody?
No, they were banging on him, and he come
Wow.
poking out, and the three Camaros were just left there smashing into each other. I don't know how that happened sometimes. But this car had a Tom Pistone front end on it, which was special setup, if you heard of him from down south. And it was a nice car. It raced fairly well. It was underpowered, too, till the very end. Tom, you remember that night? We had to let the water out of the pistons because it had hairline cracks in the cylinder walls. We blew all the water out of it before the race, put the spark plugs back in, said, run it.
Wow.
And it finished second. If he would have had another lap, he probably would have won. He was the only car left with tires on it that had actually anything other than smooth tires.
How far back should your book go there, Jim?
Well, this book, it doesn't go real far back. My dad has some other pictures, but he's been having trouble finding them. Here's a car that might jog Joe's memory a little bit. Joe, what year is that car?
51.
That's about a 63, wasn't it? I think was the first year that car raced where, Joe? Didn't it race in Charlotte at one time?
Yeah, I would run that on down there.
Kenny C. and
Who drove it?
who drove it at Charlotte? I don't know.
I think Kenny said.
Kenny C.
Kenny-
Kenny C. did.
Yeah.
Jenny C.
So there's some assorted pictures that my dad and
Wonderful.
even myself, like the first car I remember working on, it was about a 62 Pontiac.
128, housekeeping,
I don't know who,
128.
and I did a little bit of work too, and I was only about 7 or 8 years old, you know, painting roll bars, doing stuff like that.
Was that a big deal, Joe, to get one of your cars and head out from this area to go to Charlotte or?
Well, we used to go to bigger tracks. No more.
To race at Sharon Speedway sometimes, right, Tom?
Charlotte.
Sure.
We won, I don't know what year this thing was now. We had
Where we went to Langhorne was something, a Chevy.
ABC.
You remember this car, right, Joe? This would be at my dad's shop here, too.
Yeah.
My dad was a welder, and he had a welding shop, trailer shop, and that's, you know, that's how we got involved, welding, fixing the cars. When Tom would, and the guys would smash them up, we'd have to bend them back out, get them ready for the next night, you know,
Wow.
so they could bend them up again.
Yeah. We tell the story because this, I'm gonna focus in on Tom just here for a second, and Joe, you can comment on this, but we asked everybody, every racer that we've talked to,
Well,
Squirt, you know,
Stars.
Bobby, Kenny C, you name it. Everybody we've asked, we always ask the same question. We asked the question, who would be the person you'd least likely to have on the last lap, and you just had to make sure you get through one more lap to win? And everybody has said one answer. And he's in this room, and he's looking at me right now.
yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned Tom Dill as the guy they least likely to have on that last lap because they knew you were going to probably do something to win. Is that true?
We did a lot of last
We
lap.
rather intended to win them all. It didn't always happen.
But they all have a fond memory of you, Tom.
They said you wanted to win more than anybody else.
He was hungry all the time.
But we
they
did
said.
we finished last.
But, you know, Joe, I'm just going to ask the question, Joe, because he was driving half the time your car,
Well,
because Tom was obviously fairly aggressive. Was that something that you said, go for it?
come knocking, you just tell them to go out and win.
Who are those two little kids there, Joe? I think one's your son Chucky.
Yeah, the one
Isn't it?
the right?
I think so, the taller one.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other guy is.
No,
Can you see him? It's pretty tough for me to see him.
they got their own color paint on it.
What do you mean? It's white and black. It's the judge fought, the guy that kept you out of jail a number of times, you know. On the back quarter panel, that's,
There's more of a story here, hold it.
Jim, there's more of the story.
We
that
just
didn't
can't
know.
leave, we can't possibly just leave that hanging.
What are you talking about? Some judge kept him out of jail?
well, see, the judge's name, he had to put a judge's name on the car for re-election purposes, but I don't know. He may have kept him out of jail once or twice, that's all. I don't know why, what he did, but, you know, he was, kinda had that short temper might have come into play there somewhere. That was one of the Monte Carlos there that we raced from 70 to, 70, 71, 72, then he changed a little. That was, this is the one that he drove, obviously with the number, and, the other one, there's some pictures here I see on the next page of, 32, which was Dick Litz. Here's a Chevelle, 64, 65 Chevelle that Dick Litz went one night when I was about 14, 15, 16, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't even that old because that 64 or 5, I was born in 52, so I wasn't even that old, right? He went up over the bust-eye fence, right over, cleared the fence for the pits, never even touched it.
Wow.
Johnny Boyd, remember that name? Wouldn't let him around him even though he was lapped. And Dick was trying to get around him and he hit the back of Johnny Boyd's Dodge, which was kind of sloped down, hit the tires and the logs that were off to the side there before they had a cement wall, and he just went right over that fence. It was a 50 lapper.
Wow.
Landed in the pits. He had no brakes at the time because the car had the brake lines were too close to the exhaust headers and they would sometimes fade. He shut it off, stalled it out. We changed the radiator and stuff real quick, and he went back out and finished second or third in a 50 lapper because it zinged the radiator when it.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
story.
And he still ended up going out and finishing, I think it was second or third in that 50 lapper. Remember that one, Tom? Flying, that was, Dickie Litz was flying through the air on that one.
Yeah.
Really big time. He didn't hurt the car other than the radiator though. So it was well built. My dad did a lot of good welding on that car, didn't he?
Did your dad get paid for working on the cars, or did he just do it because he was
Pretty much
friends
Joe
with
robbed him.
I couldn't hear you.
Pretty much Joe robbed him.
Joe robbed him blind?
If he paid him, he still owes him about 50,000, I would think.
Is that right, Joe? I can't believe that.
What do you think, Tom? Maybe, something like that?
Yeah,
50,
probably,
60?
probably right around there.
But there was just, and I was at the age where I was,
Getting away.
getting away. I'd get in the pits, and then they'd kick me out, and I'd get back in the pits, and they'd kick me out, you know.
You've got him figured out.
But
What
that
did
was
you,
it.
what did you like the most, Joe? Driving, or did you like just building the cars?
Well, work on it. I owned the car. We made a car, tried to win with it.
Joe, did you have to pay your drivers, or did they drive for free?
They come around me wanting to drive, and I just put them to work.
Now, did you have to recruit like when Kenny, C, or Tom,
No.
or did you have to go seek them out to drive your car, or did they come to you?
Just there waiting in line to drive my car.
Okay.
Is that right, Tom?
If that's the way Joe wants to say it, I'll go along with it.
I've
Yeah,
got
it's-
a picture of Jim Polaro in one of your cars, Joe.
Yeah.
Did Jim drive for you?
Yeah, he drove for
Here's another guy, Tom. Did you see this picture of Willie?
Willard.
51, it says on the side of this car. Willie Piskorski. Can you see this picture, Joe? It's a little bit Polaroid faded a little bit, but see him there? How come there's a 51 in that Monte Carlo?
I don't know.
That's because I think the one year the cars traded hands, Dickie got this car,
No.
and the following year you got the car that Willie had owned or something, didn't you? Something happened
Yeah,
there? Yeah. between 71 and 72, I don't know what
I
year.
don't remember what years they were, but I knew
Yeah,
that, let's say,
What the hell
did
is
an Andover or something.
Where's this building?
this is downtown, Joe,
Yeah, I know.
and they would have sometimes they'd have a little thing in downtown Erie where they'd bring the cars down and park them on State Street and then generate a little interest for Erie Speedway and,
Sure.
people could come down and walk down the street, almost like they have the old classic car night now.
Right,
and do
yeah.
stuff. So, that was a picture there. I think of one of them moments where they went downtown and lined the cars up and people come down through there and check them out and meet the drivers and the people that owned them and whatnot. So, there's some old pictures here, Joe. Willie, raced
Older than
with
me.
Dick Litz. Willie Piskorski built a few cars with Dick Litz and Tom here. And he ran a body shop in Erie, garage and a body shop.
Joe, how long did you have cars in the racing business?
Oh, probably 50 years.
Is that right?
Really?
And we started on the 50 or 49.
Quite a while, right, Tom? Wasn't it?
Yeah, 49 they were running Sportsman Field.
Sportsman Field.
49.
Is that when he started at the stadium, Tom, or
No, that was 19 years later.
19?
You know, Tom, we saw the movies that your son sent up to us, of you racing. He was very nice to do that. It looked like the movies came from a guy named Al. Al, who would that have been?
Bunnell.
Pardon?
Al Bunnell?
Bunnell?
Probably Al Brown.
No. You get the movies from the archives at NASCAR.
But at the very end of the movies, it said, I hope you enjoy these, Al. So we're assuming somebody named Al put all these movies together.
Well, there was an Al
At
was
NASCAR, I never been to.
No, there's two things. One is, there was the Daytona, when you were at NASCAR, that's
Yeah.
one thing.
Okay.
But then there were some movies of you at Cool Road and at
Stadium.
Erie Stadium. And that was put together by somebody named Al. He said, Tom, I hope you enjoy this, Al.
Al Bunnell.
Al Banal?
It's gotta be Al Bennell, I would
Now,
think.
was that Rich's father?
Rich's dad.
Yeah, it could have been.
And
Because you and Rich were teammates for a while
Yeah.
at the stadium?
Yeah.
the,
Yeah. Joe owned those cars.
Oh, Joe owned those cars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, 51 and 52 at the stadium were your cars?
yeah.
Now, how was Al Banal connected? Did he work on the cars?
You were out, worked on a car, he always helped us.
Okay.
but he must have taken movies or something, or had movies of the races.
No.
Because he obviously did, he
Yeah.
pulled up.
I don't remember that I had a movie camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the movies. What are they, 8mm?
Yeah, well, what your son sent up to us was a combo, combined the color, they're in color, Erie Stadium
Oh, is that
and
right?
color, they're great movies.
Cool Road?
Cool Road and,
Show them to me sometime.
You haven't seen them? We got them from your boy.
I
yeah,
We,
okay.
we can,
You know,
we can make a copy.
We'll send it to you.
gave him everything I had in
Was this Tommy?
programs and anything that I had.
Yeah, well,
to hang on to the
well, he made copies for us.
We can mail a copy to your house.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but we were also wondering if Al, if we could figure out who Al was, if it's Al Bennell,
I would imagine.
then I bet Al Bennell's got other movies.
Al is not alive.
That was probably,
Is there anybody,
I think he passed away, yeah.
Yeah,
Is Rich alive?
he lives in Florida.
Rich lives in Florida.
There's a body shop in Erie. That's
Scott?
Scott Bennell.
That's his, Rich's nephew,
It's his
Rich's
nephew. Yep.
Al's grandson.
well anyways, we were looking for
Ooh.
movies and we know that your daughter Ruth has some movies.
Does she?
So we're gonna hopefully get a copy of that. And we,
Jim, are you friends with Scott Banal at all?
I know him. I'm not real good friends with him, but I do know him. a little bit, you know. I haven't actually seen him. I knew his dad too, actually.
Oh.
You'll love the movie town.
We just wondered if there was still some films in the Bennell family that we haven't seen.
There may be, you know.
I mean, if there's some, there may be more, you know.
Yeah, there's
It
always-
looks like somebody just took movies of you, or at least put
Yeah.
the movies that were relating just to you, so there may be movies relating to a lot of people.
Yeah, you never know,
Yeah.
because there'd be other people in the movie.
Correct.
The first race I went to was at the stadium with my dad, and it was one of the last races at the stadium because somebody got a little carried away over here. He had a little altercation with the cop, Harry Stazeski there, and he made his point, and I don't know, they didn't have too many races after that, did they, Tom?
Well, I don't think it was the cause of him quitting.
You had to make a point, you drove a point home, didn't you, or something there, something happened, I don't know what happened. I was too young to remember, I was only like about 4 or 5, so.
Harry's not mad anymore.
No, he isn't. I found it to be pretty exciting, that hooked me on it, you know, my dad too, he said, we gotta get out of here, why, what's going on? And it was a big fight. I said, oh, okay.
Who was in the middle of the fight?
Well,
Somebody in this room?
somebody was swinging his helmet around, I don't know.
Somebody was swinging
The
their
cop
helmet.
got in the way of the helmet.
Tom, I can't believe you, Tom.
Well, he pushed me around.
He pushed him around, might have had it coming, I don't know, I didn't know.
Well, the cop probably said something about Joe when you were protecting him. I like
You
that.
had nothing to do
Well,
with that,
Joe
did you,
handed
Joe?
Tom the helmet.
But that was the first, I was probably about 5 years old, I don't know, I was born in 52, so that was wow.
Yeah.
Joe, do you remember a guy, he was the pit steward up at State Line, and his name was Stan Moline. Does that name ring a bell?
No, don't seem to.
Okay, I'll tell you what he said. We interviewed Stan Moline. We wanted to talk to
It is
pit
true.
stewards and everybody. And one of the first names that he remembered from this era was Joe. And we go, well, why do you remember Joe? He says, because I couldn't keep Joe back. He says, I was supposed to keep everybody back. But Joe wanted to be right up on the edge of the track, you know, waving his arms and this and that. He said, it was always a battle every night, me and Joe. My job was to keep him back. Joe's job was to be a pain in my ass.
I wouldn't do that, Joe.
Yeah,
That sound like anybody you know?
no.
No? Why did you want to get out so far out onto the track? What were you trying to do?
Probably change the tire when they're going around.
Did you ever give much instruction to the drivers, Joe? I mean, I always, you know.
He tried that, but I wouldn't let him.
Okay.
He wanted to put radios in my helmet.
Really? That's innovative.
Yeah,
But you didn't want to have that.
I didn't think I needed to listen to him during a race.
Yeah, I'd have to listen to him in between races.
Would you critique it much, Joe? I mean, you hear your cars, you bring them to the race, and there's Tom and Dick and Ken all driving your cars, and when the race is over, did you have some comments to these guys, with these guys?
You know, not help one another.
Okay.
We used to wreck them pretty good.
So they get done when they tow the car in and you look at it, it's all wrecked?
We even told them to have it together at the track. We towed a lot of them to the track and fixed them there, you know.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How many people would normally be involved, Joe? When you went to a race, you had the drivers, like Tom and Kenny and Dick. Who else was part of the Mobilia pit crew?
Well, I don't know, there was a lot of them, but everybody in town knew it. You know?
A lot of guys.
So you had a lot of people come with you then?
Well, a lot of people chase, race cars.
Right.
You get 1 or 2, 3 families, you know. There'd be quite a few of them.
Joe, was owning race cars over the years good for your business? Did you think it got you a lot of publicity that helped you sell
Well,
cars?
A lot of times, we were in the race someplace and over there, they're mentioning the race, that we won a certain place. Yeah.
What about back home? Did the family support your racing habits? Did they go to the races?
Well,
Did,
they went, but
How come your brother isn't here?
yeah.
because I was always curious, because sometimes the family members said, all right, that's your hobby, have at it, but some really came a lot. Did they follow you to the racetrack?
Yeah, they followed and we used to bring the crowd in to make the track.
His brother Jim used to come out there quite a bit. He's passed away. And his son Bob Mobilia, Marie's brother,
Right.
he was there quite a bit. And myself, my brother, some of my friends when they were younger.
Right.
My dad was always there for welding and whatnot. And,
So it became somewhat of a family
oh
event
yeah,
there.
it kept us out of trouble on the weekends.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Us as kids. Except when you hung around with bad company, then you know.
Trouble found you?
Yeah, trouble found you then sometimes.
This is a surprise. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
but he was okay. He was a good guy. Like a second father sometimes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of second fathers. Some of them set good examples, some of them didn't. Joe was always a good guy. He had a short fuse.
Well, you had a reputation, Joe, and it's a very successful car builder, owner, and you had a lot of success with Tom and Dick and Ken, and they all speak very highly of you, so you should take great pride in that fact.
Well, we used to try to put on a good show.
Yeah, there was a lot of good racing people. There was quite a rivalry from Erie, I think, to New York, bus time and whatnot, in that respect.
Who was your rivalry? I mean, who did you, was it the Frank Ruhlmans? Was it as you brought up a stable of 3 or 4 cars, there were not a...
Bobby Stars.
A lot of times be at a racetrack and 2 or 3 guys that didn't have a car, we pull them into them,
Ah. So not every time you brought up the cars, you knew who was gonna drive.
We had a pretty good idea.
Right. But it was not uncommon to have somebody just drive that night. I mean, some drivers would. Yeah. How interesting. Were there times when guys brought their cars and they may wrecked them in the first heat, and then they were
That was
looking?
normal.
Then would they be scrambling for a ride and the semis and
right
stuff?
when they go and get parts from someone who had one. They used to help one another too. They didn't, even though they're fighting on there, they still help one.
Tell me about the finales. Bud and Floyd finale.
Floyd always got along real good. And they had a couple of brothers.
Bud.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he got yo-yo horizontal there one. Seemed like Bud punched yo-yo.
Yo-yo.
Made it state line.
George? Or,
Yo-yo was who? Can't think of his name.
Yo-yo.
Yo-yo.
Yeah.
Who was that? Names from like that.
Bob Gothian?
Gothier, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Bud straightened him out one night about something.
Was that the finale's reputation, or at least Bud finale?
Bud had kind of a short fuse.
Yeah.
They were good.
Floyd was a good guy. He was always,
And Gothier was a little mouthy.
yeah. I think he got rearranged one night.
Yeah.
So that really did happen in the pits, huh?
Well, they were waiting at the payoff window.
Oh, I see. Well, it's interesting. We've heard about the payoff window. If there was ever stress, where the drivers, because they're all waiting in line to get paid out, And, you know, that's when fights tended to erupt. Is that right?
Oh, no, they would generally
Well,
work
but
it out.
it was generally there was something that happened during the race.
Yeah. Well, I know we've heard from Jerry and Don that ultimately they got into paying out the next week.
Yeah.
Kind of take away from that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, you forget what happened during the race.
That's right, yeah. A week, it's amazing how you forget about that.
Week to cool off period.
Joe, was there a highlight, something which you said as you reflect back and you look at Tom Dill and you look at Jim here, was there a highlight race or something that you recall today?
What we call most horrible.
Have you? Was there something special about one race, 100-lapper or something?
The 100 lappers we always like to win.
Yeah. And you won a few of those.
Yeah, we sure did.
Was there one that was better than another that you thought, man, we're never going to win this one, and here?
No, we always are pretty good up in the first part of the races.
Tom, did you win only one 150 or
That was with the Dodge.
with the Dodge you did, right? Yep. I remember that one. And you finished second in that car we had,
Yeah.
last year you raced here. But you usually
Yeah.
ran pretty good in the long races.
Yeah, it seemed like I did well on long races.
Joe, you spent a lot of money over your lifetime on race cars.
We spent a lot of money, but I made a lot of money, you know?
So it was worthwhile.
Yeah. We go to racetrack and we come out winning in first, second, third, you know. Back then, you know, money was scarce, so you get the driver for a little bit of nothing.
Is that right, Tom?
Yeah, nothing.
Or a lot of it now?
You know, I got to tell you, Joe, this has been terrific. You know, we've really learned a lot from
Yeah.
all of you guys here. And in September, up in Jamestown, and we already told Tom, we're going to have an event with the world premiere, Joe. The
Well,
world premiere of this documentary. And Randy's putting it all together as we speak. We did one a couple years ago on Rollerball Speedway. We had a place was packed. Well, now all the drivers we've talked to from wherever, they're all going to make it back. They're going to make
Good.
a special effort, and I think,
well, you know,
I'll drag my dad to that.
yeah, so we're going to make sure that if Joe can possible.
Joe and Tom's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we talked to guys like Leon Lindstrom.
Bob Gosler, what do you
Yeah.
think, Tom?
Just some of these guys recently who we
Yeah, Bob
didn't know where they
Gosler.
were.
Bob got here.
Yeah.
And George was his dad, you remember?
Yeah.
We've now got about 30 people we've interviewed, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
But nobody's funnier than you, I might add.